And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gulfstream Park. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicolaides along with Samantha Perry. Of course, Brian Naddle with us throughout the afternoon. Boy, what a fun day it was yesterday, and hope we can do the same today.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. It's beautiful out. Still a bit blustery, but a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got the Rainbow Six. Boy, there was a couple of live tickets there. I thought at the end, but then it sort of like got favoritism. And there'll be $550,000 guesstimate this afternoon, and that is in the pool. We were like 500 plus yesterday itself. So great races 5 through 10. So we got a fast main track, firm turf course. Of course, we got the Tapeta, and it's always great to have the turf racing. And we're going to jump right into the first race today, which is going to be a sprint, 5 furlongs on the Tapeta maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up. We got a couple of scratches to let you know about the jockey change. Scratch the 3, the 4, the 10, and the 15. Please note the 13 and 14 will get in run, and that 14 horse will be ridden by Lionel Reyes. Oh, and we're not done. The number 8 horse is a gelding. Now, I love that they put first time gelding. It's the only time gelding, right?
It is, yes. I hope so.
So let's look at Brian's ticket here and see what he's got going on today.
Yeah, let's check it out. $48 is the play. No strong opinions you can see from the first and second race of his ticket. Race 3 gets a little bit more narrow with the 2 flat cap and the 4 cruising. Race number 4, there's a single of the 1 dual income that kicks off that tropical turf pick 3. Mile and a 16th on the grass there. And in race number 5, just 3 deep for him, the 2, the 3, and the 6. A Seminole Chief back off of a long layoff.
Yeah, those are the logical 3 in there.
So,
I'm not on the same page with race number 4, but that's, hey, Brian knows his stuff, so we'll see how it goes when we get there. But we'll get to the first race this afternoon. Curious to see who you started with.
I started with the 11, Ron, and it's very early, but taking a lot of early money. Insanity, it seems. So there's not a lot to say here other than it's Wesley Ward. It's quick training for this horse leading into this race, and this horse, hopefully you get to lead and don't look back.
I want to show you a stat that I picked up on Wesley Ward, and it's really interesting, and it's turf to Tapeta, I believe it is. And look, turf to Tapeta sprints the past 5 years, 29%. He's in the money 57% of the time. 143 is the return of investment. So you know they were going to bet him.
Yeah.
But just goes to show you how well they run. And you got David Flores in to ride for this horse
Yep,
today.
that's great. Yeah, very, very good news here. Who rode him last?
Insanity, it seems. That sort of jumped off the page for me.
You did. Well, the word insane is in there, and that fits you just perfect. So.
What about the 7 horse who was the beaten favorite in back-to-back races?
Did you just get that one?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Okay.
I saw the 3 of that softball.
You did. Knocked it out. So tapping out a tune, Kelsey Danner brings this horse in. This is the second start now across the local Topeta, which I think is a good sign here. That the cutting back from the 6 furlongs to the 5 is a big wake-up call for a lot of these horses. So now we're going to get that 5 furlongs again. And jockey Luis Saez, hope he made his plane. He was at Turfway last night and back here today.
Yeah, you know, Louis on there, you got to sort of look. He's
Yeah.
very aggressive, a strong rider in the stretch, and then maybe that's what that horse needs. And then you got, you know, maybe go to the one horse, and that's Chipper Me Timbers, and this one is Jack Sisterson. And, you know, he's on the turf at Del Mar, 50. Here for 12.5, what are we going to get?
Yeah, I think this is a logical drop here. This horse at Del Mar just showed speed, and that's it. And the race that he's coming out of, Certitude, was a forever maiden, honestly, that finally just broke through last time. So that's not a very strong race.
Well, let's flip the page like that.
Like that.
Race number 2 this afternoon. We're going to sprint on the Topeta 5.5 furlongs claimers. 3-year-olds and up, which would never won 3 races or race since June 15th. And you got a scratch in here of the number 5, Midnight Chaos. And Brian also has a pick 4 ticket. We show it here. We pop it up. It's probably a rehash of a little bit, right, of what he did before. So if we got it, we'll show it. There you go. And $24.
Yep, same story here. I think he used an extra horse in race number 3. But the single's still the same, and the 5th race is still the same. $24 that starts in race number 2.
Now we're going to start with the video here. Is that your pick number on 3, or is it competitive Saint, or you just want to show that?
That I don't have either of those, but we can look at those two first. Competitive Saint Mamba on 3, tangled last time out. Mamba on 3 is going to get Luis Saez today, which I think is a good sign here for the Jose D'Angelo barn. But in this race here, Mamba on 3 was supposed to win from where he was at the top of the stretch and couldn't get it done. Now, Competitive Saint made up a lot of ground, but he always does, and it's just too little too late. That's probably why we're all going a different direction here.
Yeah. What'd you go with?
The 8.
Me too.
Yep.
That's my best bet, you know.
Oh, it is. How about that?
Yep.
Well, you are a lucky man. You go first.
Well, the reason is it comes out of a monster key race at Del Mar that produced 4 next out winners. You know, sharp claiming outfit, and you get Jaramillo, and then this when they hook up together, they're like, I think it's 26%.
Yeah.
And that's the trainer and the jockey. So I liked all that stuff. Made it my best bet this afternoon. Hoping to get a little bit of a price, 5-1 on the morning line. I'm glad you jumped aboard.
Yeah, I did, and just by happenstance, last night I saw a work of this horse. I'm a lucky man, and the horse that he kind of had picked up company with was a runner for Wesley Ward called Scarlet Poppy, and she won yesterday on the grass at Tampa, so that's a good news. He was holding his own. Yeah,
the horse had in second, Mamba on 3, like you mentioned, should have won last time out and didn't, and then you went with the 7 in second. It's Unraptured for Nolan Ramsey. Boys, he's quietly doing a good job.
Yeah, he really is, and we'll see. This horse will probably need a start, cutting back to that distance, kind of like the Kelsey Danner horse in the first race, but we'll see.
I'm glad we're both on that number 8 horse in race number 2. Race number 3, it's going to be 1 mile on the fast main track, and this is maiden claimers 3-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch the 6, Agent Moore, and you went to the inside, and I'm liking this with a little bit of a price, at least on the morning line with Praiseworthy.
Well, this horse should be a price because it's
This your long shot?
Yeah, it is. 0 for 22, so it's 23 tries the charm today, but the first time that this son of Wicked Strong is going to get on the dirt track in a race, which I think is significant here. Now, I don't really like the field. They showed all their cards. At least this is a horse that's trying something new for the first time. I love this one-turn mile for a horse like this here. And Jose Morelos gets aboard, which I feel like is a good sign.
You know, I went with the favorite in here, and that's the Midnight Maestro. And we'd be remiss if we didn't remind you that I read Ortiz yesterday, once again won 5 races. And he had 4 in a row. He won the last 4 races and both stakes.
Yeah.
So what a day. And he's going to be on Midnight Maestro. And it's just a drop to the 12.5 level. You know, sort of got to figure out what that last race was and go off the races 2 and 3 back. This one seems to fit here.
Yeah, exactly. And at least he does. His main track experience was with different connections and tougher levels in Kentucky, so you can just kind of toss those.
Yeah, and Todd Pletcher's got a horse in here taking a big drop. Boy, hasn't been seen in a while and didn't show anything before the layoff, so they're just dropping this one. The old for sale sign is out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't trust this horse at all.
Let's go to race number 4. On the turf, 1 mile and 1/16, maiden claimers, and they are 2-year-olds. No scratches, jockey changes, and this is where the Tropical Turf picked 3, and they bet it yesterday because we had both those stakes in it, and it paid good. It paid like $238.
Yeah,
it
it did. Considering what came in, it really paid great, and this is a fantastic wager. We'll take a look at my ticket. Now it's races 4, 7, and 10 today. Race 7, that's Weehawken for me. That's my single for Sappy Joseph, and in the finale. I like Mama Kim, hopefully, to get loose on the front end there. That's the number 1 for Doug Nunn and jockey Louis Saez there. But I do think that the 9 Miss San Gabriel and the 10 D Matrona.
Matrona's going to be very short price in it, so if you could beat that horse, it would be very good. Now, interesting to see how you started your analysis here in race number 4, the first leg of the Tropical Turf Pick 3.
I started it out with the 3, that's Quizzler. Going to try the turf for the first time and going to try 2 turns for the first time. This horse is already fit with the work that he's done on the main track, and now they move him to the grass. I went back, and this is not a sire, which, by the way, very young sire, so no turf producers, but the way this horse travels, I feel like the turf should suit him just fine, and he's going to have Edgar Zayas stay aboard for Mary Leitner, and that's always a good sign.
You know, the horse you have in second, horse have on top, Bolt to Run, dropping down for Chad Brown. It's something you don't really see his barn doing. You know, he's dropping this one to 35. Started maiden special weight at Saratoga. You know, one of those jiggy jogs around the park. Didn't really show much.
Right.
What do we get today?
Yeah, hopefully a better effort, that's for sure, because they did not bet this horse at all at Saratoga. That's
a good point,
yeah, that's not a very good sign, especially with Frankie Dettori aboard, too. But a big drop in class, and this time of year, now you're at the end of the year, you're getting rid of some stock that maybe you don't see a future with in a barn like Chad Brown. I don't think it's a bad thing.
Number 2, Stone Cold Flex, is from Red Hot Antonio Sano. He just keeps winning. What, he win 3 in like a matter of like 15 hours or something like that. So he's on fire. You're getting Johnny Velasquez, and that was a decent performance for 50 last time out.
Yeah, it really was, and I think it's a great sign that you're going to get Johnny Velasquez in the saddle.
Yeah, so, and like we said, Antonio Sano, very hot. Tropical Turf pick 3 starting in race number 4. The Rainbow 6 is going to start race number 5. We're going to take a break. I'm going to find my voice. We're going to come back and give you my ticket.
They're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Samantha, and the Rainbow 6 is going to start here in race number 5. It's a 6 furlong sprint and allowance optional claimer, small field, but a pretty interesting field. We're going to show you a video, but let's look at my ticket, and I stepped it up today.
I like it.
$64 a day, no $43.20 for me. I had no singles. My single was my best bet is in race number 2. We'll talk about the 5th, race number 6. I'm going to go with the number 7 horse on top, and that's Encanto. We got a video we're going to show of that horse. Race number 7. Here's my long shot in there, but I used other horses. That's Okay Fine for Carlos David. You got to go back a few races, and this one's competitive with the horse. They're going to bet Valor in there. Race number 8. My top pick is the number 8, and that's Cuban Thunder for Jorge Delgado. Race number 9. 4-6 for me, my top pick being the 4 Catalytic. And in the last, I just used 2 in there. Lady Emily Catherine, we got a stat. And the horse I think that's going to be odds on D, Matrona, the French bred from Chad Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, so getting back to this race, how'd you see it?
In all. This is a really tough race here because there's a lot of unknowns, at least as far as what's Mish going to do today.
Right.
I know that last time out against his stablemate, White Barrio, he was pretty naughty in the gate, and he was fine, but it just kind of, I think, just threw him completely off kilter. So I don't know what to do with him today.
It's like you don't know what to do with Seminole Chief, who's coming off the bench, who was good in the reality back in 2023. You got a video. Maybe this will help us with St. Tappet and Gatsby.
Yeah, maybe this is the last time that they knocked heads on August 4th. So St. Tappet has not had a start since then. Gatsby has had 2 and has changed barns since then. So St. Tappet is a horse that needed this race a lot this day. But here's the thing. The horse ran well, and now you're waiting 3 months after this race. So the horse just got tired here. He dueled along with Loco Barrio, who's in really good form, and then you went to the bench again. I don't like that.
I mean, it's just, we'll see. So you ended up going with the 3 Hurricane J on top of your ticket. What was that reasoning?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. Look, this horse has figures that fit here in this particular race, and I think right now he's a good horse for the time. But the thing is he went to Tampa and he ran really well behind Big Effect, good for him taking his show on the road, but coming back pretty quickly, and that's the only thing that concerns me.
I went with the 6 Seminole Chief, and you just go back. This horse starts his campaign at Finger Lakes, wins for fun. You expect that. They put him in the infirmary. Doesn't run well. He comes back and wins the In Reality. This is 2023. Don't see him for a while. Where's he come back? The Grade 3 Withers. They're thinking enough for this horse to put him in a Grade 3. Doesn't work out. March, he comes back. He wins a 75 optional claimer here. So we know he can run sort of fresh, maybe well. What do we get with this? It's just so many. It's a good horse.
It is.
Somewhere down the line, it's a good horse.
Yeah, but there's just no development with him, and that's what I don't like about him at all. Just because you look at, he's just very spacey. Is he going to go 2 turns? Is he not? There's a lot of different things. They wanted him on the grass too, and he ended up winning on the Tapeta. I don't trust him.
And you're absolutely right about Mish, because we don't know what we're going to get. If the good Mish comes, beats this field.
Exactly.
It's simple as that.
Exactly.
So, and when you're putting your tickets together, that was the exception to the norm. That horse's last performance, like you said, was goofy behind the gate. Let's get to race number 6. It's 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta, and this one is maiden claimers, and they are 2-year-olds, and we have no scratches in this race, but we do have Samantha's late pick 5.
We do, and it's a tough sequence. I had a lot of trouble with this. $81 here. This is a bit more than I like to give out, but you can definitely hedge somewhere else. Race 7, that's Weehawken for me. Now, race 8, this I have no opinion whatsoever in this race. I have Mugatu on top. But I don't have an opinion in this race at all. As you can see from my ticket, race number 9. I do have the 7 on top. That's Morgan Point, just the now horse. But a couple of these horses, they could be players depending on, who's fit. Catalytic's back, a lot of questions. And in the finale, I do have the 1 Mama Kim on top here. This is a tough sequence today. I feel like if you're going to, to me at least, if you were going to play this seriously, you would need a ticket like this.
I agree, because my Rainbow 6, as everybody knows, is always 43.20. Yeah. For that reasoning, I had to go deeper today, because you sort of couldn't leave a horse out of a certain race.
Exactly.
I don't want to get beat by this horse thing, so we'll see how it plays out. Now, getting back to this race, who did you start it with in here?
I started with Replevin for Bobby DeBona, and this is a horse for me that, we give these tickets out, but when I see this horse, I'll be able to know right away if this horse I want to use in the ticket, because Bobby DeBona, first debuted this horse for the first time in his barn last time out, and he didn't look like a normal Bobby DeBona horse. He was very furry. He looked like he just needed more conditioning and just more time in the Bobby DeBona barn. And so today, if he looks the same, then he's not a horse I would use on my ticket or pick on top. But if he looks good, then this is for sure a horse I want to use. So that's why, we give out that ticket, but you have to kind of pay attention a little bit deeper in there.
Well, I use both Encanto and Art Fair, and you have a video that we're going to show. Maybe this will explain why I picked Encanto and Art Fair.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't want to get inside your head. But these horses, they're coming back a little bit quick, too. But Encanto has just been running a lot. This is 2 starts back for Encanto, actually. There's not a lot of spacing between his races, but Art Fair ran well. I think he just got a little bit tired, honestly. He needed the race. Now we're going to get Johnny Velasquez back aboard, and look at him on the rail there. That is not a spot at all you want to be, but Encanto can't see it through. Art Fair's the only one I want out of that.
Art Fair, and Encanto, Jackson, you point that 1-2 back. I think that's a good spot to start. Art Fair for all the reasons we just shown, and I used Replevin in my ticket, like you did. It's just a good way to start the late pick 5 in there. Not an easy task. We'll see how it plays out. You have no 7s on your ticket, so
no,
whatever.
We'll see.
Race 8. Race 8 this afternoon is a mile 70 yards. It's an allowance optional claimer. And this one is for 3-year-olds and upward.
We skipped a race.
Oh, we skipped a race.
Yep.
That's why
there we go.
My page got stuck together.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Race number 7. Yes, because we got Brian's pick 4 in there.
We do, yeah. Brian's pick 4 here.
Race 7, 1 mile on the turf. It's a starter optional claimer. And this one, no scratches, field of 10 here. Brian's late pick 4, and there it is, $9. Wow.
Well, he has opinions, which is good for him because this is not an easy sequence. Race 8, he's singling the 8 Cuban Thunder. Wow, that's a horse facing older. That's a competitive horse. You get him home. Race number 9. He has Catalytic in the mix, so Equivoque as well, and Harton, the 2 Todd Pletcher runners, and then in the finale, the 9. And the 10, the Miss San Gabriel and D. Matrona. D.
Matrona. So, there's great races, a good betting race in here. And, I went with the number 3. This is my long shot of the day. And what I was saying earlier when I was talking about my Rainbow 6 ticket, if you go back and look, you have to go back. And Mo Val is going to be the favorite. We're going to show a video. And, okay, fine. If you go on to go back, this horse, very competitive with her. So I thought maybe this one would have a shot. Here's Novala. She's not in this race. Okay, fine. But we can show the video.
Yeah. And Weehawken's actually in this race. Weehawken was 4-5, but that horse was way over bet. She needed the race for sure, coming from Woodbine. But Novala, they're going to bet, and she ran a huge figure this day. A huge figure. So that's a great sign. But that was in October, so you kind of wonder, are you going to move forward from that? Are you going to come back? But Novala just coming off of 3 wins in a row. It's impressive.
Yeah, and like I said, but okay, fine. If you go back, got beat a half length by Novala. Always gets beat by Novala, but up close, maybe turn the tables on it. Now, you're single in here, Weehawken. I think it's the logical one for Safi Joseph Jr. getting Irad Ortiz Jr.
Yeah, this filly, she's a daughter of Daddy Longlegs, and these are actually sneaky good runners on the grass. Well, she's won 3 of them, but he could run all day, and she can as well, seemingly. And now she's had more time in the Safi Joseph barn, which I like.
Yeah, so we'll see how race 7 plays out this afternoon, and then we'll go to race 8, which I seem to like because I wanted to get there before the 7th. Mile 70 yards on the Tapeta, allowance optional claimer, and these are 3-year-olds and up, which you heard me say already, and scratch the 1, make it big. So once again, a little bit of a head scratcher in here. You went with the number 4, Mukatu.
This horse, you've got to dig a little bit, but his maiden breaking win was right here at Gulfstream Park, and so that's a good sign. He's 1-for-1 locally. They gave him a race here on the dirt. We'll see Morgan Point a little bit later, but the Tapeta and the 2 turns. I think what's key here is the 2 turns, and we're going to get back to a level that's not stakes competition on the Tapeta for the first time in a while.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking back because I'm thinking that Brian single Cuban Thunder. I like Cuban Thunder in that spot too. So different ways to go, but you want to show the video of Il Siciliano from the En Fuego Antonio Sandoval.
There you go. Yeah, this horse was, I don't know where this race came from. This was really, really impressive here. The way this horse ran out the back like this was, you don't usually see this on the Tapeta. It was impressive that he was able to rally like this. Bell Mountain just gave it up in the late stages. I have him in my ticket. I don't have him in my top 4, though.
I used him fourth.
Yeah.
You know, so for all the reasons you mentioned are shown here, I think he's illogical. And, you know, when we've said this over the years, and when Antonio Senna gets hot, he stays hot for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
So you got to sort of pick your spots here. And he loves using Johnny Velasquez, and certainly a good angle.
Yeah.
So that's the number 2 horse in here. Go to race number 9, 1 mile and 1/16th, an allowance optional claimer. Now remember, this is the first finish line. They gotta have a lot that short stretch, and 1 scratch is the 5. Power, Humor, and how'd you go?
I went with the 7 on top here, and that's Morgan Point. Just the now horse here, Ron. Coming off of those 2 wins, now going to stretch out to another turn. But this horse has tactical speed, and I feel like that's so key in a race like this because that first finish line comes up quick.
Yeah, so that's it. That's why you always want to mention it, because it sort of changes how you handicap that. You got the 7. We got a stat on Harton with Todd Pletcher. We'll show you that stat right now, and it'll come up. And I forget what it was about. 180 days plus layoff dirt routes the past 5 years. That's a good stat. 28%. I mean, that's a good number.
Yeah, it really is. But where have you been lately? I know Irad's on this horse. He's going to take a ton of money, but I prefer the other Todd Pletcher runner instead.
Well, let's go with let's show number 4, Catalytics, last race.
Yeah, well, it might be. I'm not sure what it might be. A work here. This horse is coming back off of a pretty long layoff, and July was the last time we saw this horse. Our Harper Rose, I cannot wait to bet her because she played with Catalytic here, and he's a horse, Ron, that he leaves himself with a lot to do, and he's just kind of a grinder. You can see that the rider on the inside is working hard, and on the outside, our Harper Rose is just cruising. Now, this is a filly. Look, he could be good. I don't know what to do with him here because this, like I said, the mile and a 16th comes up pretty quick. In the carry back, when they cut him back, which seemed like just a starting point in his last race in July, they had to go back to the bench again. I don't know.
He was 60 cents to the dollar in the carry back. You know, he got beat that head and he's coming back. You know, like I said, you don't know what you're going to get. And you look down, you see Saffie Joseph, you see Tyler Gaffleone is just having a great meet. He won a couple. Yesterday he won, I think, 2 or Friday for sure. He won a couple, so he's been doing good. Yeah, that's why we were saying these tickets that we put together. You have to spread a little bit. You don't want to get beat by a horse like this.
Yeah, or if you like him, you just single him and you move on. You know?
So we got the good stat on Harton, Morgan Point, and what do we got?
Yeah.
We'll go to race 10. Maybe we'll figure that one out. Now, this is a mile on the turf. It's claimers, and these are fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 6, 12, 13, and 14. And as I said, this race, I want to hear about the one horse I did not use, and that's Mama Kim.
Yeah, this horse was really efficient last time out for the $25,000 level. Now that was on the Tapeta, but this horse has speed, and on this grass course you want to have that big time. You have Louis Size in the saddle, which you can't ask for a better rider, to hit the front end with a horse like this, and she does handle the grass fine. She handles the Tapeta fine. She handles anything that they ask of her, so I think this is a sneaky horse here that I'm hoping can just run away from the field.
Interesting with the horse that is going to get bet a lot, and that's the Matrona, the French bred, just because his horse is $25,000. Last seen at Aqueduct not long ago, November 8th, was in the grade 3 Pebbles. Didn't show much, you know what I mean, in the grade 3 Pebbles, so he drops the horse down. I'm talking about Chad Brown. Let's look at the stat of Chad Brown, which I found intriguing. This might help you change your mind and not use this horse as strong as you want. When you see this stat, I found it interesting here, so...
Maybe we got it. Well,
no, it's on Lady of McCaffrey.
Oh, okay.
So that's what Matrona. That's what it is. It's on the Saffie horse. That's
one thing to know about Matrona. Oh, here's this with Lady
That's
Emily
what I was
Catherine.
talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
29%. Yeah, I was jumping the gun once again.
That's allowance. That's pretty good allowance to claiming for Saffie Joseph, and that's a horse that's she's going to be very dangerous. But Diamatrona, at least out of the Pebbles race, See You Looking yesterday came out of this race. And I said it. Brian and I talked about it yesterday. This Pebbles race was a weird race. Nobody ran in it. And you look back, well, that horse handled yesterday in the Tropical Park Oaks, See You Looking just won that easily. So
Yep.
there you go.
Diamatrona, broke from the rail and, just seemed to break last, stepped slow and ran, just okay in there. So what about another horse that you used and I used a little, that's the 9, and that is Miss San Gabriel.
Another one that has a little bit of speed. I think the 1 is faster for sure than the number 9, but a good post position here for the George Weaver barn, who's another barn that has started off in a good way here.
Yeah, you got to have that speed. I mean, we've had very little rain, but besides that, we have hurricane conditions here for the last 4 or 5 days as far as very windy goes. So that's how we see the 10-race card, and we're going to go with our lightning round here. And, of course, we had some really nice races yesterday.
Yeah, we did, and we'll start it off with the Oaks run, because here's See You Looking, really just said see ya.
Yeah.
In the Tropical Park Oaks. It was a very impressive little stretch run here.
Yeah, really nice performance in this race.
See You Around, that was it, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, this was nice.
Good race, and you know why it was a good race? Because this 5-horse usually doesn't stay that close to the pace, but Irad was smart enough to stay around the pace and just get up under the wire. Really good performance. That was an excellent ride by Irad.
Yep, it was perfectly timed as well. And another perfectly timed ride was Irad in the Tropical Park Derby with Cugino. You either loved him or you didn't like him. I didn't like him. I know you did. But this is why he is one of the best in the world, Irad Ortiz.
Yeah, right here you're saying, no way is the 10 going to get there. 9 looks like he's even money to 9. The favorite, and here it comes once again. Irad getting up. Just an amazing ride to get up there. This was another top-notch performance.
Yep, it really was, with a horse that I think this turf course probably doesn't suit him the best, but he made it work given the circumstances.
Yeah, I think when we say it's good to have speed, but if you got tactical speed and you can stay in that first group, you got a chance like I did to win. It's always good to talk about the way the turf is playing. I mean, we haven't had any rains to speak of, so it should be the same.
Next, we've got the Pegasus Preview Days next Saturday. The what am I trying to say? The past performances. Thank you. They're out here. We drew the card yesterday. It's a great card, and it kind of just will segue us into the Pegasus being tickets are on sale too. So we come out next Saturday, get to see some of the horses that we'll probably see on January 25th.
Oh yeah, we got lots of good races on Saturday. Lots of stakes races. So we'll see how that plays out.
3 graded stakes.
How many?
3.
3 graded. So that's next Saturday, the 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Right before Christmas, you could make some money for your Christmas presents in there. Your best bet today?
My best bet is, I'm a lucky, hey, we have the same best bet. That's
okay. Great. Just play that again, please. Play that again, Sam.
That's great. All right, there you go.
Long shot.
My long shot is in the 3rd race with Praiseworthy.
Mine is a little further down in race number 7. It is the 3-horse, Okay Fine, who I'm going to try and beat, the horse that's going to take all the money in, that's Novalla.
I like it.
So that's it, 27 minutes thereabouts. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello, give you all the scratches, the changes, and we'll be back here throughout the afternoon. We'll find Brian somewhere around. He's got to be around here somewhere making up tickets. I'm sure of that. We'll be back.